I hope the irony isn't lost on you guys of creating a video based on a script that ChatGPT wrote 8 months ago. And I put the script back into ChatGPT. And these are the talking points that it gave me from its own script. So something has definitely changed inside of the programming of ChatGPT because I'm putting the exact same information into it, the same prompts, same everything, and it's giving me completely different scripts. Like it's regenerating the script with a different sort of attitude. And I'm not certain where that's coming from or why it's doing it that way, but I am going to try to give it different prompts. I'm going to try to give it prompts from both the left, the right, and maybe even a libertarian every once in a while just to see if it can actually create something. So I feel that it's using very similar verbiage in the last few months, in the last couple of months since May. Something's changed because this isn't what I was getting when I first started using AI to build my entire channel. Backgrounds, scripts, talking points, thumbnails, all created with ChatGPT, but with an earlier version of it 8 months ago. With that said, today's video is going to be a remake of Hourly Jobs Are Destroying Lives. So, I wanted to revisit this topic because it's the second most popular video on my channel. But I've talked about this numerous other times because it's one of the things that I like to talk about because I'm actually living it right now. As you guys well know, I'm at work. This is work. This is my part-time job. This is the extra $1,000 I make every month from this job. This is my passive income. I mean, I could be working at Walmart for a 4 hour shift to make what, $50 in 4 hours? That's how pathetic the pay is out there. I could work a 4 hour shift Saturday and Sunday and make $50 each day. Or I could possibly make that in donations in a couple of minutes on this channel. It all depends. Over here, I'm gambling. Over there, it's certain that you will get nothing out of that job. That's the worst part of working a minimum wage job. You're not getting any skills, you're not getting any experience, you're not getting something you can put on your resume. It's just a waste of your life. Every low paying, no skill job in America is a waste of your time. Because unless you're doing something that builds something, like trying to build a YouTube channel, you you're not going to get anything out of it in the short term. All low paying, all $20 an hour jobs are a complete waste of your time. And guess what? If you don't have 3 to 5 years of experience doing something and know the right people, you're never going to get out of these jobs. And with that said, let's get into our opening monologue. I wake up every morning with dread in my chest, not because I'm lazy, but because I know what's waiting for me. Another day of pretending to smile while being underpaid, overworked, and treated like I should be grateful for scraps. I do everything right and still can't afford to live, let alone dream. This isn't living, this is survival on hard mode, and no one seems to care that we're drowning. I think this is why everyone looks at OF as an escape. If you're a good looking young lady and you can make money by showing your keister online, it's the ultimate job. Where else are you going to go to make millions of dollars or $10,000 a month? I mean, you're not going to make $10,000 a month when you're 21 and you're relying on your skills and your education. That's just not going to happen. And I mean, the market for women that are trying to use their assets in order to generate a monthly income is remarkable. Every Gen Z girl out there that enters the job market at entry level isn't going to do well. You can't survive on $2,000 a month. And that would actually be considered good money right now because the jobs don't want to pay anything. If you don't if you don't have special skills in this world, you have to live with your parents or live in a shack. There's no escaping that. And it's unfortunate because I think ASU just graduated another 10, 20,000 students. And I was watching a video about 2 or 3 weeks ago about how these mega colleges are graduating tens of thousands of students every semester out there at these major universities. But there aren't any jobs for them. Like myself, get out of school, go work in retail, go work in the service industry, go do something that you don't want to do. The entire reason that we go to school is so that we can do something we actually want to do. I don't want to go to a job working at Evil Corp. My entire education was built around being in education. All my degrees have one thing in common: it's human beings and the study of human beings. I never wanted to sit there at a job and push the buttons on a keyboard all day long. That's not living to me. Doing the same thing every day at work, pushing the buttons, pushing the buttons, pushing the buttons, and that's it. Your whole life is going to go by, and all you do is push the buttons. All right, let's get into talking point number one. Despite doing everything right, showing up on time, staying late, grinding through double shifts, the paycheck barely covers rent, let alone food, medical care, or rest. The system isn't broken, it's working exactly as it's designed to keep workers exhausted, quiet, and too poor to fight back. Well, very similar terminology as the last video that I made. Almost every single talking point there is exactly what it said last time, and it's an entirely different script. Uh-oh. I think this thing's broken, guys. I don't see it doing anything better. There's no innovation. This is why AI will never be able to write novels or be able to do creative writing the way that human beings do. It gets stuck in these loops of just saying the same thing. No matter what garbage I put into it, it continually comes back with the same verbiage. And I even used the word verbiage last time because it sounds the same. And I don't know how that can be if this script is 8 months old. All right, let's go to talking point number two. We're taught that if you're broke, we just need to work harder. But the jobs available don't offer fair pay, respect, or even basic human dignity. This isn't about laziness, it's about rejecting the lie that minimum wage labor should cost our bodies, minds, and futures. We come back to the dignity of work. I think that they keep shoving this narrative down our throats that there's dignity in work. What dignity is there in a $20 an hour job? Or even worse, what dignity is there in $14.75? The minimum wage in Arizona only went up 50 cents this year, while inflation destroys poor people. No one takes into consideration the millions of people right now that aren't getting the help that they need because more people aren't tipping and they're not going out to eat. More and more people are just staying home and figuring it out. I've never walked through a grocery store so much and seen people, ordinary people, more middle class people, carrying under their arm top ramen. Like I was at Walmart earlier this week and there was a girl walking out with two bundles of top ramen under one under each arm. And I just kind of looked at it, it's like, she doesn't look poor. But what she can afford to eat tells me that it's very different. And while I was working at Walmart, there was a girl that would come in every night, right around 10 o'clock, every night religiously, 7 days a week. And she would come in and she'd buy two things: one top ramen packet and one blue Powerade every night. but she would walk the store looking at every single thing in that store. She'd walk every aisle, and then she'd come up to the checkout. She'd never use the self checkout. She'd come up to the register and buy $2 worth of food. And I remember thinking to myself, doesn't anyone love this girl? Doesn't anyone care about this? And the truth is, if no one knows, no one cares. I mean, we live in a very isolated world, despite there being so many people. I can tell you, I've left my apartment twice today. Once I went to go get something from Starbucks because I needed something that didn't have caffeine in it, so I needed some juice. And I was looking for a place that sold like Mexican juice, right? The water with fruit flavoring in it, or little pieces of fruit in it. And I looked and I looked and I couldn't find a place. And then I gave up, so I went to Starbucks and I got a lemonade. And I've been sipping on this lemonade for the past 3 hours. And the second time I left was I went to the gym to work out. Didn't have a single conversation, no human interactions, just all men in the weight room and all very, very lonely looking men. We live in a society where men are spending more time shaking hands with the governor than anything else. I don't think I've ever seen such a lonely society, and you just see it in the faces. At work, when I talk to as my Gen Z told me the other day, and I don't know if I put this into a video, he's like, Millennial Steam, you have so many women that you talk to. And I looked at Gen Z, and you don't have a single person. I think he's gonna turn a year in at least, I think, 3 months. He might turn a year, and he doesn't have one single work friend. And I find that to be very odd because no matter where I work, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm working at Walmart, Kroger's, the university, slew of women that I know, not women that I hang out with, but women that I just know from work. And it's just kind of been my thing throughout my entire life. But it's a story for another day. But still, I'm also one of the loneliest people that I know because they're not real. They exist 8 to 5, unless you're that lady that was texting me last night in the middle of the night. I think she was texting me from the hospital. No other scenario makes sense as to why she would be texting me right around midnight, as I recall. Anyhow, let's see. Let's get back to our third talking point. I am not exactly thrilled by this Chat GPT script this time, guys. Whether it's content creation, gig work, or dreaming of something better, young people aren't chasing luxury. They're running from humiliation. We want purpose, not punishment. And until traditional jobs stop being dehumanizing, more and more of us are going to keep finding ways to leave them behind. This is something that I've noticed among Gen Z. They don't want to work these jobs. No matter what job I've gone to, what minimum wage job I've gone to in my life, there are those people that show up for one day. And the classic story of this is Oliver, right? We all know who Oliver is. He's been on my channel for 15 years. I've known the guy forever. And he told me that story years ago about how he took a job. I think it was at a warehouse. And it was his first day and he didn't like it at all. So instead of telling his manager that he quit, he politely went to the bathroom. There was a window there. He crawled out the window and was never seen again at that job. When I worked at Insight, it was commonplace for a person to start one day and never come back. When you work in retail, it's absolutely normal for people not to come back, especially deli girls. The deli is the hardest place to staff with an ordinary person. The only person that will take a deli job is a single mom that's desperate for money because the job is hard, it's dirty, it's disgusting, and it's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. Like I knew the deli manager from when I worked there at that Kroger's in 2008. Uh, she had been working there for like 20 years. I think she recently retired because she was working at that store and then she transferred to the store up the street by my house. And I haven't seen her in a long, long time, but she, for age 50, she was still a very good looking woman. And she managed to continue doing that job and she was always happy. That's the thing that eventually, if you're going to stay in this world, because remember, there's the rope, there's hope, and then there's the cope. Some people learn to cope in these environments. In fact, well, I was at Kroger's a little while ago. The front end manager, the guy that denied that girl, was going to deny that girl an alcohol sale because she just turned 21 yesterday. He's one of those guys. He's had to turn it around. When you're in a dead end job like that, where you know there's no chance of career advancement, you just have to cope with the situation and convince yourself that you're okay. And I say that in almost all my videos is that you have to somehow be okay if you're going to keep going because the rope is always nearby. Coping sometimes means mental destruction. If you're going to cope in this reality, in this economy, with a job that's so terrible that you start having a panic attack Sunday afternoon when you realize that Pound Town is waiting for you in the morning. I love that. I'm never gonna stop saying that. You guys said that in one of my live streams last week. It's like, welcome to Pound Town. Population you and your hiney. And that's what Evil Corp likes. It is Pound Town. It all sounds better than Evil Corp. But it's funny. Anyhow, I think I've almost reached my 20-minute limit. Let's see. Let's read the closing monologue and then I'll comment and then we'll cut this video here. I used to think it was my fault. Like maybe I just wasn't trying hard enough, but now I see it clearly. They want us tired, humiliated, and too broken to fight back. They don't offer jobs, they offer cages with direct deposit. And I'm not playing along anymore. If speaking the truth makes me the villain, then fine. I'll be the villain who warned you before this whole system finally burns down. I think that's the hope of the proletariat right there. Is that we're hoping that this system gets so terrible, so awful, that you have more people working 40-hour jobs and living in a cardboard box trying to live in their car that it just collapses in on itself because it's not sustainable. I hope to be able to see that day because no one should live like this. No one should be trapped into the wage cage waiting for the floorboard to be pulled out from underneath you because that's the world we live in. We're all scared, we're all broke, we're all humiliated, we're all feeling the anxiety. When I was talking to my work friend the other day, the one that doubled her anxiety medication because she can't deal with Evil Corp anymore, I just felt that. I felt the fear and the pain when I was talking to her. It's just, and it's across the board. No matter where you go in America, people are deeply concerned about their well-being. And this isn't just the unemployed. This is the future unemployed because in this next year, AI is going to take a lot of jobs. We all know that. We all have to interact with AI that we don't want to talk to every day. And I'm not talking about AI as in ChatGPT. I'm talking about AI on the phone, AI in chatbots, AI created content. Hey, you guys are listening to an entirely AI created YouTube channel. Everything on here is AI generated. I don't write these scripts. ChatGPT does. All I do is I take a script from wherever my own channel, which, like I told you guys, ironically, it's writing a script for a script. But sometimes I'll just take it from another video. Any video that sounds like it's similar to my content, I'll just go to YouTube, copy the transcript, and shove it into ChatGPT. So it is everything on here. It's the artist, it's the writer, it's the proofreader, it's every part of this. This means that this powerful uh, technology is going to come after more jobs. There are going to be a lot more of us out there working in minimum wage jobs sooner rather than later. It's like the lady that I mentioned that I saw yesterday working as a picker at Walmart. There didn't seem to be anything wrong with her. She was in leggings, she was in good shape, she was blonde, she was semi attractive, and yet she was working for the minimum wage at Walmart. Ordinary people shouldn't have to work in a place where high school dropouts work. But the minimum wage is coming for us all. It's like the nothing in the never ending story. It's coming. You can't stop it. There's no way of getting out of the way. It's what it does. It's coming for all of us.